I'd like to welcome everybody on behalf of the Georgians for Sunday alcohol sales. It's a Facebook group. You know, if you guys haven't checked it out, it's a great place to keep tabs of what's going on in this issue, and as it affects businesses, as it affects citizens, and as it affects, you know, all of us in our livelihoods. You know, as a small business owner myself, this has become a very important factor. We recently had to deal with this same issue with restaurants in the city of Snellville, and the people spoke, and they spoke out 2-to-1 in favor of alcohol sales on Sunday. Aside from that, though, the bigger issue is about having the freedom to have your voice heard, and that's really the reason we're here today. Aside from the fact that this is about alcohol, it's about having the people who work in here representing those of us that are standing out here. Those people speak on our behalf, and we deserve to have our voice heard, whether we agree with this issue or not. And so I'd like to ask all of you guys to show your support and be very diligent in contacting your senators, your representatives, and to pass the word that we are watching. Those people are our employees, guys. We hired them. We're paying their paychecks. They are our employees, and we're holding them accountable. I'd like to introduce to you Representative Stephanie Stuckey Benfield. She's a representative in DeKalb County, and has been a big help in putting this together today.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone for coming out. I love all the signs. We really appreciate you taking time out of your schedules to join us. I want to stress that today's event is nonpartisan. Someone told me that it should be labeled transpartisan and that we are transcending politics. I have heard from Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, even Tea Partiers who say that they support the right of the people to choose. And Dempsey was right. No matter how you feel about this issue on a personal or maybe moral level, we can all agree that the people should have the right to vote. This is intrusive government relations that is holding back our economy and not allowing local control. It's time to have the issue of Sunday sales decided in the sunshine of the ballot box and not in the shadows of political backroom dealings. In politics, some will always have a narrow agenda, but this is a time and an issue where we need to do what is right for a broad base of people and do what is best for our economy, for our local businesses, our community, and to let the people decide. On a personal note, I'm a mom with 2 kids. I work during the week here at the Capitol. My Saturdays are filled with kids' activities. I choose to shop on Sundays, and I would like to have the right to decide if I can buy a bottle of Pinot Noir on a Sunday afternoon. I want to close by personally thanking the senators and the representatives who've really been supportive of this issue. On the Senate, on the Senate side, we have Senate Bill 10. We're going to hear from John Bullock on the Senate side. And on the House side, I'm very pleased to see the Chairman of Regulated Industries, Representative Roger Williams, who is the sponsor of the House version of this bill, House Bill 69. Let's thank Roger Williams for being here. We really appreciate his support on this issue. And I also want to thank Governor Deal, because he has had the guts to say that if either one of these bills reaches his desk, he will sign it, and I appreciate that. The last thing I'm going to say is if you're interested in following this issue and getting active and involved, we're going to be doing text updates for how the bills are doing in the legislature. Where is Kashi? She's working with me. She's the text messaging person. So if you're interested, pull out your cell phone, and we'll get the number out on the Facebook page. But the number is 770-309-9351. Text VOTE, and we'll start sending you updates so you can follow this issue. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Thank you, Representative. You know, we'd like to really get some information and ask a bunch of you guys. How many of you guys shop on Sundays from time to time? And I think that you guys are probably representative of most of the people in the state of Georgia, whether in an urban area or whether you're in South Georgia, somewhere in a small town. You know, I'd like to introduce Representative Billy Mitchell.
Yes.
Right here. Oh, there you are, Billy. And he'd like to talk a little bit about the metro Atlanta area and what's going on in the urban areas.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. You know, the real issue for us is simply this. Will we allow consumers, the voters, the opportunity to decide whether or not it's okay to just be able to get in your car, go to some athletic event, some restaurant, some bar, drink all the alcohol that you can consume, and get back into your car and drive home? Or is it more preferable to get into your car, drive to the package store, convenience store across the street from the bar tavern, purchase it, and take it home? To me, the issue is one that is not even close. It's not an issue that should even be debated. This is something that we definitely need to give the consumers an opportunity to vote on this issue. And that's all we're talking about here, is giving the consumers an opportunity to vote on this particular issue. This is truly an issue of local control. Certainly that this would be important for the Atlanta metro area, of course, but I will tell you that this would also be a huge issue for the border cities along the coastline and the borders of Georgia. Thank you so much. My name is Billy Mitchell, and glad to be a supporter of this initiative.
I'd like to acknowledge a couple of folks that are here today. We've got representatives from the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, and Georgians for World Class Beer. Where? Let me ask another question. See, I'm doing market research right here as well. Let me ask you guys another question. How many of you, by show of hands, have ever bought Sunday beer on Saturday night? Is everybody familiar with the term Sunday beer? All right. You know, why can't we buy our Sunday beer on Sunday? I don't even drink that much personally, but that's not the issue. The issue is allowing it to happen. It's a legal substance. It's something that's legal 6 days of the week. Hamburgers are legal 7 days of the week. If we had a talk today about hamburgers not being allowed on Tuesdays, I'd be standing right here as well. And I bet you guys would as well. I'd like to introduce Senator John Bullock with Thomas County. Senator Bullock, thank you very much. If you would, please just give us an idea of why you got involved in this bill in the first place.
Thank you, Jamie. I want to thank all of you for coming out first, showing your support. That's our constitutional right that we have. Next thing is, why did I get involved in this? I actually got involved in this over 4 years ago. The first draft that was ever put forth in the state Senate, I actually had that drafted by the Legislative Council, and somebody else wanted to carry it, so I gave it to them. It's all about local control. I was a county commissioner for 20 years and chairman for 14 years. I came to this great capital of ours, visited with my legislators, asked them to give us the opportunity to make the decisions on the local level on all issues that we could. Never talked about this particular issue with my legislators back in those years. But as we look at it today, every issue dealing with the sale of alcoholic beverages is determined on the local level, either by our elected officials in the sale of wine and beer, or the sale through food establishments on Sunday for alcoholic beverages. There's a vote by the citizens, or from the sale of distilled spirits anytime during the week, which makes a county not dry but wet. I represent 8 counties. All of my 8 counties are dry. All of the county seats in those 8 counties are wet. Now, what the issue here is about democracy. It's letting the people make the decision that they want for their community. It doesn't matter if you're from Gwinnett County or Grady County, from Atlanta or Albany or Ocklawaha. Ocklawaha's dry. You can't buy a beer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday in Ocklawaha, and they're not going to change that. But that's their right. So when I introduced SB 10, it's not about the sale of alcohol on Sunday. It's about the people having that right. This piece of legislation will not, cannot create one drop of alcohol being sold. It's 2 more steps after that. The local governing authority has to vote to call a referendum to allow the people that voice, that opportunity. So what can you do? Call your senators, call your House members, be nice to us, but let us know how you feel. Jamie talked about that y'all pay us. Y'all probably don't know how much you pay us. And it's not much, that's right. So don't throw that up at us. I mean, because we may want to give you that paycheck back and say, now don't call me again. So, but when we look at the opportunity to give the citizens back at the local level the decision-making powers, that's what SB 10 is all about. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Senator. We'd also like to call up State Representative Al Williams from Midway, Liberty County in Southeast Georgia, to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Jamie. I come from a coastal county down on the coast of Georgia, and we don't drink much Pinot or Dom Perignon down there. The names are much easier to pronounce, but we do want the right to decide whether or not we spend money on Sunday on alcohol. Now, it has always interested me how people demand that Washington turn loose some of the power and give it back to the local states. But when we got a chance to turn loose some of the power, it's a little different grab bag. This is all about letting the people decide. Let the people decide. I don't know how Liberty County will vote, but I trust them enough to say, however they vote, I'm going to support it 100%. Now, I'm not going to do like some of my friends have said in the past. Say, well, what do you think about this piece of legislation? Well, 50% of the people are for it, 50% against it, and I'm with the people. But I trust the people to make a good decision. Let's send it home, and let's make a statement for local control. Thank you.
One thing that's been brought up is that this is not a partisan situation. We've heard here today so far from Republicans, from Democrats, from the House, from the Senate, from the people, from business, from private citizens. And we'd like to also introduce Brett Bittner. He's the Executive Director of the Libertarian Party of Georgia.
The passage of a bill to allow for local control of Sunday sales has been a part of the 2011 legislative priorities for the Libertarian Party of Georgia. It was also a part of our 2010, 2009, 2008, and many years prior. We finally have a governor who's willing to sign such a bill, and we're tired of business as usual. We're tired of business being conducted behind closed doors. We're tired of being ignored, and we're tired of being told not now. This is our opportunity. Our presence today is one, as we've mentioned, it is a nonpartisan coalition for us to have local control over what is a local issue. And I want to leave you with this: a government that is large enough and powerful enough to prevent the lawful sales of alcohol on Sunday is also a government that is large enough and powerful enough to stop lawful assemblies for Sunday school. Thank you.